right, welcome back to the Real Estate Huddle. We're excited. This is episode 82, and we're going to talk about exploring Evergreen, Colorado, the mountain living town just outside of Denver. This is an awesome place. We're stoked to talk about this. And if you've been looking for a town right by the mountains, but also with access to the city of Denver, this may just be the town for you. And you'll want to tune into this. This town has been stealing hearts for years. It's an awesome town, got a lot of character to it. So let's dig right in, guys. We'll talk a little bit about why living in Evergreen is so attractive. Why it's a place that if you're coming, if you're moving to Colorado, it may be a place where you want to keep your eyes on and spotlight because of how close it is to the city and the mountains and just the cool town vibe that it has. So let's talk first. What do you guys like about Evergreen?
I love the mountain bike trails out there. It's a beautiful place to go ride.
Of course.
So it's not too often you get to ride through just a herd of elk in the middle of the trail. So it's kind of surreal to be able to do that and be that close, because I know there's a lot of hunters that want to do that at hunting season and they don't get to. So
don't get that in Georgia or Louisiana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty special.
Just lots of views. It's kind of got the rugged mountain feel to it, but yet it's still got all the amenities like city water and sewer and in a lot of places. So it's a great combination. So it's kind of like the gateway to the Rockies. So it's kind of a good entrance point to a lot of your mountain exploring. So
yeah, no, that's awesome. And we're going to talk about the real estate in Evergreen, the lifestyle, the schools, nature, community vibe, and local tips, just so you know your way around, kind of like a local would. But what stands out to you, Noah, from being up there?
One of my favorite things is always as a family, I think every year we go up during the winter time and there's Evergreen Lake. Mm-hmm. It's the main thing that brings people, I think, and there's always something to do when it freezes over in the winter, so you can go out, you can go walk on it, or there's people ice fishing, they have hockey, they have ice skating, so they have all this stuff that you can do, and it's super pretty in the winter. It's always there's snow, it's just like the mountain kind of town, and it's super close to Denver, so you don't have to drive an hour and a half, 2 hours, or deal with traffic on I-70 or something.
Totally. Yeah. And it's beautiful all year round. But I think the pickup hockey aspect of it is so cool. Because we're not a pond hockey town, right? There's just not very many places like Brock grew up in Minnesota where there's just pond hockey everywhere. And that's not us. But Evergreen is at the altitude allows it to happen where the lakes freeze and Evergreen Lake is actually a pretty good sized lake.
It's a big lake, yeah.
It's got a trail around it too, so you can bike or walk or just
it's in the summer too. If you want to go, they got canoeing and kayaking, and there's
stand up paddleboard.
Paddleboarding. Yep. So there's all that
fishing
year-round
too.
Stuff to do.
Yep. Yeah, all kinds of things to do there. So that's a really cool spot. And then we've eaten at the Willow Creek restaurant that's right by it, so you're overlooking the lake at the restaurant, and they have outdoor seating and indoor seating there that all has window views where you're staring at the lake and just this beautiful landscape and all the pine trees around it, and the Rocky Mountains. So with Evergreen, you're 20 to 30 minutes from the city, from Golden Lakewood, some of the other more suburbs, the west suburbs of Denver. You're about 30 to 40 minutes from downtown Denver. So you're really connected to all those areas, but yet you feel like you're in the middle of the Rocky Mountains because there's hills everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
And on the north side of Evergreen, you're real close to I-70, so you kind of got that main thoroughfare, so you can get on the freeway and get moving pretty quickly. So you can make it short term real quick.
Totally. And to outsiders, I-70 is your main highway that takes you up to all the ski resorts, takes you all the way through to Grand Junction, Utah, and beyond, right? That's how you get to California. Anywhere west, you're taking I-70 to get out there. Cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about the real estate in Evergreen. So a couple interesting facts. So the average list price of a house in Evergreen is $1.265 million. So because of all the things that we just mentioned, of how attractive it is to live there, it is pricey too. You can find there's a $550,000 listing right now that's a 3-bed, 2.5 bath with 1,342 square feet. So there's smaller homes that you can find in other areas, but most of the homes up there are above, north of $1 million. And
they do have some new builds in some of the townhomes that are about that $1 million price point. Mm-hmm. Real nice you still get the mountain living, but you're close to 74, so you've kind of can. It's still maneuverable. Some of the mountain roads in Evergreen, you got to be studded snow tires, and winter traction is a must because you're living on the side of a mountain and you've got a lot of slope to deal with getting to and from.
Totally.
So, but a lot of the lots up there are a lot bigger, so you've got a lot of natural settings.
Yeah.
So real pretty.
And that's a factor with value is like how are there paved roads? Is it super steep to get up to the house? And you may have killer views, but if you can't get there without risk of dying,
out of the year, you can't get to your driveway.
So like the snow is a big factor. They get a ton of snowfall. And so with real estate, like it's funny because like in some of the suburb areas, it's kind of funny when we check the box: is the road paved or is it gravel or is it dirt? It's like, of course it's paved down here, but up there it's a very real thing, right? Like it's just so much harder to navigate and get through that without a massive truck or Jeep or something that's very 4-wheel drive. If you have dirt roads, so. That's an important factor with value. And there's a big mix, of like cozy little cabins, in Evergreen to massive like houses, mountain houses that have this like mountain contemporary style.
Yeah.
A lot like the places you see in Breck and Vail and Beaver Creek and just these amazing mountain towns. But I guess the real big draw to Evergreen is you're that close to work. So some people that work in Denver can still have that mountain living that they want, right? With this killer home, but be 30 to 45 minutes from work.
Yeah, so. It seems to be the second home or the primary home for a lot of United pilots as well. I think there's a ton of people that work at the airport that live up in Evergreen. So
just shoot down I-70 and you're at the airport.
That seems to be the staple place for them. So
yeah. That's cool. What were you going to say? No?
Well, it's like the best of both worlds, right? It's like you're in that mountain town. I mean, being up in Evergreen, you feel like you're in the mountains. You're surrounded by those mountains, by everything like that. Mm-hmm. There's tons of snow, but just 40 minutes down is Denver, and there's tons of stuff in Denver to do. And then you can kind of retreat back to your little kind of a little more tranquil kind of place.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, it's so nice and peaceful. So the average price per square foot is $468 per square foot. That's pretty high considering that like in Denver, our average square foot is more like $275, $285, somewhere around there. So it definitely is a higher price point. And it does have, some great investment appeal. Just, again, like the stuff that we've mentioned, it remains a desirable location for both primary residences and also vacation properties. And some people have it as like a second home because you're close to ski resorts, so you can still hit all that. And people that want to come into the city and do some of the fun things in Denver. So
summarize the stats. You've got 1.265 for an average listing price. You've got 468 price per square foot. The average days on market is 67 days on market. Yep. So kind of got a lot of people that live in Evergreen like to stay in that Evergreen area. Yeah. So it's once you kind of get used to that, it's a little bit more not as urban feel. So and it's definitely a little bit more relaxed. It does take you a little bit longer to get places because it's not the main thoroughfare and there's not as much traffic. So
yeah,
So kind of have to plan on that. But if you enjoy that, it's going to be a real good spot for you. So,
yeah,
and you get to, I know my friends that live up there, they don't have a lawnmower because it's just all natural habitat that they deal with, and they just have a snowblower for the winter. So
yeah, I believe it. Yeah, and there's like this term of like, are you a 7-year? Of like, if you've lived up there for 7 years, then you've survived. Like you're staying. You're tough enough to survive the winters.
So it wasn't just a tour of Evergreen. You were there for 7 years.
Yeah, they'll like call each other like, oh, they're not a 7-year. Like they can just spot you from a mile away.
Okay, so that's when you get the stripes.
If you show up in flip flops or something, no. That person's not going to make it up here.
No, it's Keens and socks.
That's right. So that is real terminology I've heard from locals up there, and the outdoor living element of it is just incredible. So like some of the parks that are really attractive and fun to go to, there's obviously we talked about Evergreen Lake, but then there's Elk Meadow Park, just incredible, majestic mountain views. And some of the other parks that Brock, since you've ridden through a lot of these, what are some of your favorites up there?
Elk Meadow and Bergen Peak are a great place. That's right off 74. you can ride. There's kind of like a flatter part, which you can ride trails there in the wintertime. They've got a lot of fat biking and everything else going on. And then you get up to Bergen Peak where you climb up at altitude and you actually cross through some county lines up in that area. It's a beautiful place. That one's a little bit more technical, a lot more challenging to go ride, but it's a great place to be.
Explain fat biking, because some people thought that was a fat joke.
No, fat biking, your tires are like 4.5 inches wide and you're riding in the snow. So you actually ride when there's snowfall or precipitation on the ground, and you ride through those trails. So
it's like 4-wheel drive for
it's like
for mountain bikers.
You kind of get up and float on top of it and ride on the snow. I haven't partaken of that because I'm too much of a wimp. So I wait for the nice weather, which happens 10 months out of the year. So
it's like how they have those wide fatty plank skis right now. That's the new style. Same concept.
Yep, exactly. You float up on top of it. So
float right over.
Some of the other parks, which is a great hiking spot. There's Three Sisters Park, and Dedisi Park is another one that joins into it. So you can typically a good mountain bike ride is you start down at Dedisi Park, you ride down by the golf course and the lake there, and then you ride up to Three Sisters, and then can ride around to the trails up there.
Is Mount Falcon up there too?
No, yeah.
Is that
Mount Falcon's in Morrison?
That's still Morrison. Okay, yeah, we love that one. That one's fun too.
So Lair the Bear is just outside of that area.
Okay,
that's another popular park. They just set in Rutabaga, new downhill directional trail.
Okay,
which is a nice place there. So, but
sweet.
Three Sisters is a really great place. It's got a good balance of everything. It is pretty technical, but it's got some flat trails. It's got great hiking trails, and they actually just did a lot of tree mitigation there last year. Cool. So a lot of the trails have been rerouted and stuff. So what you thought was what you're accustomed to seeing is now going to be different. So
nice. Mountain biker's dream. It's it's incredible, and I think there are along I-72. There's some amazing road biking trails too. Like if you like to ride at altitude and challenge yourself a bunch. I mean, going up to the ski resorts, even they have some really cool trails up there. We love going up to Vail and Breckenridge and taking some of those just road bike trails and going back and forth from the ski town to ski town, and it'll give you a workout, that's for sure.
Biking at 10,000
bring your respirator
feet. Or your canned oxygen.
Yep. And then we've got, let's see, so we talked about the wildlife, just elk and deer, and every once in a while bears. You got mountain lions, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything.
Seasonal highlights, as far as the snowy winters that are perfect for skiing. You've got a ski resort, Echo Mountain, that's not that far away, probably only 30 minutes away to get up there. So that's a big deal to have something that close. Yeah. And then the rest of the resorts are probably more like just a little under an hour. To get to Loveland and
Winter
A Basin
Park.
are the first ones. Yeah, Winter Park's pretty close. Copper, some of the first ones you hit, and then you keep going to Breckenridge, Keystone, and then you keep going a little more, and then you got Vail and Beaver Creek. And so some just amazing, some of the best skiing in the world that's that close by, which is incredible.
I think autumn too, right? You have, I think people kind of go crazy over that in Colorado, to go up to the mountains and go see the changing leaves, because it happens a little earlier.
Yep.
And I think Evergreen has that perfectly. It's got that wildlife, and it's just beautiful up there in the autumn with all the different colors and the trees. Yeah.
That's really where it starts. You get going on that drive, right? And then it's just you get to Evergreen, and then all the colors come out. That's just beautiful. So cool. And then family amenities. So other things you can do up there. There's Kittredge Park that has a nice little playground up there. There's just beautiful scenery as well. And then Buchanan Park. I don't know if we mentioned that. What was the one that started with a D, Brock, that you were so good? Dedisi. Yeah, I don't want to butcher it. But that one's got a lake around it too, right?
Yeah, so it's got a lake there. It's got a picnic area up at the top as well. So it's right off of 74, right coming down by Evergreen Lake. So the golf course and everything are right by that.
Awesome. Is that the Evergreen golf course there? Okay. Yeah, and that goes around the lake too. Yeah. So it's the scene of lake, golf course in the summer, and then you don't really notice the golf course as much because it's all snowfall in the winter. But then you've got the hockey going on with the sound of skates and people on the lake. So it's just, and then the fall, right, with the trees.
If you go in October and when you're golfing there, you can get some action with the elk chasing you around a little bit. So you gotta wait for something in your backswing. So
bring a club with you as you go into the woods to search for your ball, for sure. So there's always something to do all throughout the year. And I think we've touched on the parks pretty good. There's a great like daycare center, but also like a kids play garden at Buchanan Park. That's a cool spot to hit. And I think a lot of parents use that, that work in town to drop their kids off so they can go to work and pick them up later in the day. And then, we've really already touched on like commute is just such a big attraction there. The ski resorts, not a lot of public transportation. So that would be like the one downside. Just don't expect like the light rail to get you up there.
The walk score is a little low.
A lot of bus systems or anything like that. Yeah. Like you get around by car, and have 4-wheel drive if you're up there. Like I would not be cruising around with front-wheel drive.
2-wheel drive up there. No. You're going to get stuck all the time.
Yep. So, awesome. Well, yeah, such a great place. Anything else you guys want to say about Evergreen before we break?
No, it's a weekly ritual to go up there and get some dirt on the tires. So it's a beautiful place to be.
Nice. Yeah. You've had some of your most precious times with your kids, probably like riding with them and stuff in some of these mountain passes that we've talked about, right?
It's really nice when you watch like a YouTube video of the trail and your kids kind of distraught thinking, oh, that looks way too hard. And then they conquer it. Yeah. And it's kind of fun. So,
quality family time.
That black diamond, can scare them sometimes, but
well, and I think like everyone would agree, like kids just need to be challenged. They need to be off screens more these days. They need to like get out and see the wilderness, and like they've got this heart that wants adventure, and so much of that just gets like kind of, I don't know, just like milded by all the screens that we watch all the time. And so I think it's just a great place. It's outdoor, park for kids, if they get up there and get on a bike or get on trails and start hiking and stuff. So awesome place. It really fits the vibe of a lot of our listeners, I think, that are, outsiders looking into Colorado, or maybe you're in Denver, maybe you're in the city and you've just been thinking like, we need a change. We need something a little different, a little more nature in our life. Maybe it's time, and you might have a bunch of equity in your home in Denver or in one of the suburbs. And now you've got, 3,000 or 4,000, 100,000 in equity that you've built over 10, 12 years. And now it's time to look at, making that an awesome down payment to get into the mountains a little bit.
And if you do go to Three Sisters, that is probably the one spot that you will be able to see the leg lamp from the Christmas Story year round on display at one of the homes there. So
is it the real one?
Really?
I don't know if it's the legit one, but it's the leg lamp in the window, and it's not just at Christmas. He's there that is,
and it's glowing. It is bright.
It is a trademark.
No,
it is quite the thing. So
that's pretty cool.
If you're in for some of the fun experience, you can go see that. So
that's awesome.
Look for that.
Good deal. All right. Well, if you are looking into homes in Evergreen, would like a list of homes, we'd be happy to provide that for you. We are licensed real estate agents here in the state of Colorado, and we work primarily in the Denver metro area. And Evergreen's a part of that. It's in Jefferson County. Amazing school system. I don't know if we touched on that, but like really good schools up there too. They have a ton of charter school options as well, like the Evergreen Country Day School, the Rocky Mountain Academy of Evergreen, Montessori School of Evergreen. That really cater to like all kinds of diverse education experiences. So that can be a big draw as well. So if that is something that you're interested in looking further into, we'd love to be your guide, be your expert, and get you through some of those homes, or just send you a list online if you're out of state, so you can start peeking at those and seeing if your interest grows from this much to, big time interest in moving out here. And we'd love to show you around once you get here. So thanks again for listening. And our contact information is below. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast so that you can continue to listen to these. And we'll continue to spotlight areas in Denver, fun things to do around town, and what real estate is like, and the inside scoop on real estate as we go forward here on the Real Estate Huddle.